Welcome to Books and Bites by Rayhan, where we deliver the best ideas in minutes, because learning should never slow you down.
Love that.
Today, we're diving deep into Harper Lee's classic, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Ooh, great pick.
You've shared some thoughts and notes from a really detailed summary,
Yeah.
and I'm so ready to unpack those themes and characters.
Me too.
This book, it just stays with you.
It does. Weaves together these big, complex ideas
Right.
with these characters that feel so real in a setting you can practically feel.
Totally. And Maycomb, Alabama in the 1930s.
Yeah.
It's more than just a backdrop.
It's like another character.
It really is. It shapes everything.
It does.
The events, the whole mood of the story.
For sure.
It's the Deep South Jim Crow era.
Right.
So segregation and prejudice, it's just part of everyday life.
Yeah. And Lee doesn't shy away from that.
Not at all.
Like how those societal forces, that whole atmosphere, how it really gets under the character's skin.
Absolutely. And then we meet Scout Finch.
Whoa, Scout.
Our narrator. Young, curious.
Yeah.
And we see these really heavy adult themes.
Yeah.
But through her eyes, through this childlike lens.
That's what's so brilliant. Lee's choice of Scout as the narrator. I mean, we experience everything through her innocent eyes.
Right.
It's fresh, like we're discovering it all for the first time.
Makes you think, too.
Oh, yeah. And then as Scout grows up in the story, our understanding grows with her.
It deepens, for sure.
Okay.
Got to talk about the Mockingbird.
Oh, yes.
Such powerful symbolism.
Absolutely.
You flagged this in your notes.
Mm-hmm.
This motif that runs through the whole book.
Yeah.
Both Tom Robinson, he's the black man wrongly accused, right?
Right.
And Boo Radley, the recluse, misunderstood.
Misunderstood, yeah.
They're both tied to this idea of the Mockingbird.
They are.
How do you see that connection?
Well, okay, so the Mockingbird. It's the symbol of innocence, purity.
Right.
And to kill a mockingbird.
Yeah.
It's like destroying something beautiful, harmless. It's like a senseless act.
Exactly. And Tom, Boo, they both represent this vulnerability.
They do.
Targeted by all this prejudice, all this fear,
Right.
when they don't deserve it at all.
So their suffering, it points to something bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Like a moral corruption in society.
Absolutely. And that's where the trial of Tom Robinson comes in.
The central conflict.
Right.
You highlighted some moments from the trial in your notes.
I did, yeah.
That I found so striking.
Yeah.
Like those trial scenes, they're just so powerful.
Oh, they are.
They expose the racial prejudice.
Deeply rooted.
At the heart of Maycomb.
Absolutely.
Atticus, he's Scout's father.
Right, and Tom's lawyer.
He builds this strong defense.
Yeah.
Exposes all the lies.
Right.
But the jury, their decision, it all comes down to their bias.
It's like justice itself is on trial.
Exactly. Not just about guilt or innocence.
No.
It shows us the systemic racism of the South.
It's a microcosm of that whole system.
Yeah.
Makes you realize how deep those prejudices ran.
It does. And, progress isn't always a straight line.
No, it's not. Speaking of Atticus, he's often seen as this moral compass.
Right.
So much integrity.
Yeah.
Willing to defend Tom, knowing it'll make him an outsider.
Yeah. He knew.
Does that make him a hero?
I think Atticus is interesting because he's not just a simple hero.
Okay.
He's complex.
Right.
Like, he's totally principled, but
yeah,
he's also working within the limitations of his time.
Right.
Like, he teaches his kids to fight for what's right.
He does.
But he's also honest with them about the prejudices they'll face.
He doesn't sugarcoat it.
No. Like, he knows change takes time.
Yeah.
And that even small acts of courage can chip away at that injustice.
Absolutely. And Scout and Jem's journey starts with this childhood innocence. But as they experience the trial, the aftermath,
their world changes.
It gets more complicated. The trial's like a catalyst.
Is.
For their loss of innocence.
Yeah.
Forces them to face these harsh realities. Of prejudice, the limits of the justice system.
Sure. It's a lot to take in.
It is.
It's like their changing view of Boo Radley kind of reflects that loss of innocence.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, at first he's this mystery to them.
Right.
Almost like a myth.
Yeah.
Lurking in the shadows.
Oh, totally. The embodiment of all their childhood fears.
Exactly. But then as the story goes on, we see these little hints of kindness from Boo, like leaving those gifts for the kids, mending Jem's pants.
Yeah.
And then in the end, that heroic That heroic intervention during the attack
changes everything, right?
It really challenges their first impressions of him.
For sure. Like, Boo's actions force them to see that things aren't always what they seem.
Right. Appearance versus reality.
Yeah, like, don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. And that seems to come up again and again in the book.
It does. It does. You know, what struck me reading your notes was How to Kill a Mockingbird really shows us the complexity of people.
It does.
Like, you have Bob Ewell.
Bob Ewell.
The worst, right?
Yeah.
All that prejudice and hate.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you have Miss Maudie.
Oh, Miss Maudie.
So kind, so understanding.
A bright spot, for sure.
It's like this whole spectrum of human behavior.
It is.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
And everything in between.
It feels so real, so human.
It does, doesn't it? And I think that's why it still speaks to people today. It captures that messy, complicated reality of being human.
Right, right. And we see that in how the town reacts to the trial, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Some, like Atticus, stick to their principles, but others are driven by fear, by prejudice.
Makes you think, about how our choices, our individual choices,
Yeah.
they can either support those systems of injustice
Right.
or help to break them down. Such a good point. And the cost of prejudice.
Yeah.
It's right there in Tom Robinson's story.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Such a tragic ending.
A direct result of the community's inability to face their own biases.
It's heavy stuff. It's a reminder that staying silent, doing nothing,
can be just as bad
as actually discriminating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it shows us how much courage it takes to stand up for what's right.
Even when it's hard, when everyone's against you.
Yeah, when it's unpopular.
It's interesting, how Lee uses Scout's perspective to explore empathy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she starts off with those childhood prejudices.
Like we all do.
But through her interactions with Boo, with Tom, she learns to see things from their point of view.
It's such a crucial part of her journey.
It is. And Atticus always telling her
to walk in someone else's shoes.
Exactly. And as she does that,
she starts to really get it.
Yeah.
The complexities of being human.
It's like she embodies the whole message of the book. It is, isn't it?
Challenge your assumptions. Try to understand, not judge.
And that's why I think this book is still so relevant.
Oh, for sure.
It reminds us that fighting for justice, for equality, it means looking beyond our own limited perspectives.
Powerful stuff. And Lee wove it all so seamlessly into the story.
She did. And, it's a book about some tough stuff.
Racial injustice, prejudice.
Yeah.
But there are these moments of hope, too.
Oh, definitely.
Little glimmers of resilience.
Like, you see it in Miss Maudie.
Oh, Miss Maudie.
Such a strong presence.
Always there for Atticus and the kid.
No matter what.
Even when things are tough.
And Scout.
Yeah.
Even after all she sees, she never loses that belief.
In the good in people.
Yeah.
That balance between the dark and the light.
Yeah.
It's what makes it so powerful.
Oh, moving.
It really gets to you.
And ultimately uplifting.
It does. You finish the book feeling hopeful.
Hopeful, but cautiously, right?
Yeah, like progress is possible, but it takes work.
It does. And the way Lee uses Maycomb as the setting, it really roots the story in a specific time and place.
You're right. It becomes this microcosm
of the South in the 1930s.
With all its traditions and its social structures.
But even within that, you see the potential for change.
You do. That tension between holding on to the past and reaching for something new.
It's everywhere. Yeah, like Maycomb is stuck between what was and what could be.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And I think Lee uses that tension to explore those big themes we've been talking about.
Right.
Like you see in Atticus with his progressive ideals going up against the town's prejudices. The ones they just won't let go of.
Yeah. And you see it in the kids, too.
Oh, absolutely. Going from childhood to seeing the world for what it is.
Blowing up.
Yeah. And Boo Radley.
Yeah, what about Boo?
He goes from this figure of fear to a hero, even if it's in this quiet way.
Yeah.
His whole story is fascinating.
It is. He starts as this shadow, all these rumors and stories about him.
Yeah.
But in the end, he's a symbol of courage, of compassion.
But without all the fanfare.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what's so amazing about Boo is that he shows us how wrong we can be.
When we judge people, make assumptions.
Exactly. He breaks free of those labels the town put on him.
Right.
Shows a side of himself most people never even glimpsed.
Like Lee's saying, hey, everyone's got a story.
They do.
And we got to be careful about judging based on what we see on the surface.
Absolutely. It all comes back to that idea from Atticus.
Walking in someone else's shoes.
Yeah, trying to understand instead of jumping to conclusions.
And that's how we break down prejudice, build a better world, right?
It's a powerful message.
Especially today, feels like.
Oh, yeah, we're still dealing with so much of what Lee wrote about.
Racial injustice, inequality.
The need for people to stand up and do what's right.
Like, it's all still so relevant.
It is, and that's what makes Lee such a brilliant writer, that she could write something that speaks to us across the decades.
It's a timeless story.
It is. So what do you think is the biggest takeaway from To Kill a Mockingbird?
That's a good question. What do you hope listeners will walk away with from our deep dive?
I think the book's legacy is that it's a call to action.
Like, it's not just a story.
No, it's saying, hey, we all have a part to play.
In making things right.
In fighting for justice, for equality.
Yeah.
To stand up for what we believe in, even when it's hard.
Even when you're standing alone.
Yeah, and to never stop challenging prejudice.
Wherever we see it.
That's what it's all about.
Well said. And for those who haven't read To Kill a Mockingbird yet, go pick up a copy.
It'll stay with you, I promise.
It will. Thanks so much for walking us through this deep dive.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
Your insights have been amazing.
I hope it's made everyone want to reread it.
I think it has.
Or read it for the first time.
Yeah, and to think about its message, what it means for us today.
Exactly, because great books, they have the power to do that.
Yeah.
To challenge us, to make us think, to spark those important conversations.
And we want to hear from you.
Yeah, what resonated with you?
If you've read To Kill a Mockingbird, what stuck with you?
Share your thoughts in the comments.
We love hearing from you. Until next time.
Keep those pages turning.